Welcome back to the channel, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to do this magnetization effect in Blender 4.3. So you can take any object you want and have any other object or objects you want kind of attract to it like a magnet. So in this case I've kind of keyframed the force here. I'll quickly show you. So the force field that attracts this like a magnet, I've kind of gone ahead and keyframed it so the strength can be varied. Now this is my original, which I'll upload to Patreon, but the example we'll be doing today is just a simple demonstration in Blender. And by the way, this definitely is a beginner-friendly tutorial as well. We'll be taking this Suzanne monkey head, and that'll be the quote-unquote magnet, and then we'll just add in these little cubes, and we'll kind of have them fall, and then get swooshed up as they get magnetized or whatever, and then the magnetism kind of goes down, and then last second kind of goes up. So this is a super fun tutorial teaching you how to make this magnetic effect in Blender. There's a ton of cool applications, and yeah, let's jump into it, and I hope you guys enjoy. So jumping into a new scene in Blender, what we're going to do is we'll select all of the default objects, and we're just going to press delete, and then let's just add in, for example, Shift A. Let's just go to our mesh option. Let's add in a monkey head because there's a lot of interesting details on here, so it makes for some more interesting dynamics. And let's just go to our modifier, add modifier, click on search, and we'll just give this a sub. So type in sub, give it a subdivision surface, right click and go shade smooth. Okay, you can bump that up if you want. So now we have an object. By the way, you can use any object. So this is the object that is going to quote unquote be the attractor. This is where our objects are going to be kind of like going towards. It's the magnetized object, so to speak. So what we're going to do is we're going to go Shift A, we're going to go to our mesh option, and let's just add in, I don't know, let's just go for a cube, nice simple object. Let's go S to scale it down and go G to bring it down here. And we'll go Shift D to duplicate, S to scale, and then Shift D to duplicate, S to scale a little bit different. Then grab these guys and go Shift D to duplicate, and just make a whole bunch of random sizes, and then kind of grab them all, go to the side view and go Shift D to duplicate, S to scale, Shift D, maybe bring them here. You guys kind of get the idea. Okay, we just have this random collection of different size cubes. Make sure to select all of them, and then go Shift, or I guess Control A and apply the scale. There we go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to click on our monkey head. We're going to go over to our physics properties. Now, let's just say this is the object that's going to be the magnet, right? So you can select any object. You're going to go ahead and give it a rigid body. And you're going to change the type to passive because it's just kind of like sitting there. It's not falling or anything like that. And that way our other objects will be able to interact with this object. We're then going to come here to the shape under the collisions and change it to mesh. And that's all we need to do for now. And then we're going to grab all of these objects down here, these guys, and then holding in Shift, just click and make one of them active. So they're all selected, but one of them is the main active element. And then go over to your physics, give it a rigid body as well. This time we're going to leave it as active since it's going to be the thing that actually has the action. We're going to come here to the shape and we'll just leave it as convex hull, should be fine. And what we're going to do for all of these to have the same property, with this one main active element still here, we're going to press F3. We're going to type in copy from and click on copy from active. And now all of these cubes share that same property. Okay, so if we were to go to frame 1 right now on our timeline and hit the spacebar, they're all going to fall, which is what you'd expect because there's gravity in the scene. So what we need to do to actually get a force going here is we just need to go Shift A. We need to go down to our force fields, and let's just add in a force. And you can see now we have the force, and all we have to do is go over to our physics here, and under the force strength, let's just make this minus 400 as a start. And now if we go to frame 1 and we hit the space bar, you can see all of these guys now kind of swish up like this. Okay, that's really cool. So if you want it a little bit weaker, you can go minus like 200 maybe. Go to frame 1, hit the spacebar. In this case, it's just not quite enough. So let's just go with minus 400, seems to be a good amount. If it's still not enough, you could always go like minus 1000. It really just depends on the strength of the magnetization that you're kind of looking for. But I think a value of minus 400 works well in this case. So what we want to do as well here, I'm going to show you how you can actually animate this in a really kind of cool way. So let's just go Shift A, let's go to our mesh options, add in a plane. We'll just go G, Z and move this plane down and go S to scale it nice and big. And with this plane, we're going to give it a rigid body as well. Change the type to passive and let's just leave it as convex hull. And now that we have this plane added in, we're just going to come and select our force field, come to frame 1, and let's just come here and give this a strength of 0 on the strength. And then maybe let's drag up to frame 20, and on frame 20, we'll kind of keyframe that. So click on this little animate property, and it now goes yellow with a value of 0. And then let's just grab this keyframe here and go Shift D to duplicate, drag it up to 30 maybe. So what we have here, if we have them falling, we have a bit of a hold. And then let's just come to maybe frame 60, and in frame 60, we're gonna come here and make this minus 400, and then click on the animate property. Now you can see over here in frame 60, we have that as a property. So if you go to frame 0, we hit the space bar, you can see all of a sudden, whoop, it goes up. And let's just grab this keyframe on frame 60, Shift D to duplicate, drag it up to maybe 120. So let's just say in this instance, it's gonna hold there for 60 to 120. And then let's come to frame 150 and let's make it minus 150. Let's click on the animate property. There we go. And let's see what that looks like. So we're gonna go to frame 0 or frame 1, hit the space bar. And now you can see it swishes back up and then it goes weak. And let's just maybe last second grab this frame 120, the keyframe, Shift D to duplicate and take it up to, let's say 170. So just as it's starting to fall, it just kind of goes strong again. So what you have, this kind of really cool magnetic effect. Okay, it kind of starts to fall and then last second kind of swishes back up. So using this animate property here of the keyframes, you can kind of really have a lot of fun with the magnetization as you increase and decrease the magnetic strength. So I'll make the animation 170 frames long. I'm going to go to my scene properties, and it's always important before you render to go to your rigid body world, go to your cache, and then change your frames to whatever you're working with. In this case, I want 170 frames, and I'll just click on bake and then bake this. And now this is baked. So any changes you have here won't. So if I kind of grab one of these, go in and out of edit mode, it doesn't affect anything. It just kind of continues. Okay. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. And I will be uploading my original here to my Patreon for any of you who want to kind of just have this to play around with for fun. I'll see you guys next time.